Hey guys, it is April 13th, 2017. It is a Thursday. Now, Lee and I put out a video several years ago. If you haven't seen Lee and Michelle's Virgin Diaries, we mentioned chocolate cake. It's kind of been a run-on joke for us, but also Donald Trump here has decided to highlight chocolate cake.
What'd you do today? I ate some chocolate cake, I bombed Syria, met with the Chinese president.
Yeah.
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
The world heard Trump's latest and slightly bizarre account of the events leading up to his decision to bomb that country.
We had the most beautiful piece of chocolate cake that you've ever seen, and President Xi was enjoying it. So what happens, as I said, we've just launched 59 missiles heading to Iraq.
Well, you're headed to Syria?
Yes, heading toward Syria.
Corrupt Trump can recall the cake he was eating, but not the country. I finally found common ground with Trump. I can see myself getting fixated on good cake too. Can I be president? What best dessert to pair with a missile strike, chocolate cake or pecan pie?
The U.S. ambassador to the UN, meantime, Nikki Haley, said Washington is prepared to do more.
And yes, when you're president of the United States, you get free reign when you mix chocolate cake, Syrian bombs, and then you say you bombed Iraq. You're actually not allowed to make those kind of gaffes without the rest of us poking fun, ridiculing, and downright getting a little bit frustrated.
Right. She recounted the story of a family which suffered in the alleged chemical attack. Caleb Mopan reports.
As soon as the votes were in and Russia had vetoed the resolution, accusations started flying. UK Ambassador Rycroft accused Russia of protecting the Syrian government. And Nikki Haley, the ambassador of the United States, told heart-wrenching stories about children who had suffered in the chemical attack in Idlib.
Abdel
I can't hear it again.
We've already covered this.
Was to or bear ever.
The chemical attack. Ivanka Trump, the president's daughter and assistant, was so moved that she pushed her father to attack Syria. Eric Trump, her brother, has confirmed that. You can't ignore the suffering of the children in Idlib, but aren't they forgetting something? The Iraqi city of Mosul is being bombarded relentlessly by coalition forces. Many civilians in that city, including many children, are in dire circumstances.
220,000 children in West Mosul, a city on extreme danger. You've seen also reports that children are injured in the fighting, or also have been used as human shields. We see many like schools or public buildings that have clearly been used as ISIS bases, which is also a very big concern for the safety of children.
Many of you will remember little Haura. She's lost her eyesight, and doctors believe that she may never see again. She was the sole survivor of a U.S. coalition airstrike in the Iraqi city of Mosul. But apparently the lives of these children don't have the same value to the folks in Washington, D.C. Caleb Mopan, RT, New York.
And I did want to play that. You know, as an American, it's very hard for us to watch the RT spin on it.
Also, you're not aware of this, but Yemen is very close to there, and there are millions and millions of people in Yemen starving to death.
Right.
And they're not helping them.
Right. So that's the point. The only thing I hate worse than seeing children and innocent people suffer is people taking advantage of innocent people and
that's exactly
suffer.
what we are seeing here. Now, unfortunately, I know we'd like to try to separate Ivanka from her husband, Jared Kushner, but Ivanka's brother, Eric, has confirmed that Ivanka did push the president to bomb Syria, if he can remember which country it was that they attacked. And she goes to bed every night and her head hits the same pillow as Jared Kushner. All right. So you guys have to take that into consideration. So if Kushner is pushing Ivanka to push her daddy on the basis of these children, things are starting to make a little bit more sense. In all honesty, Trump has a lot on his mind right now. He's the president of the United States. He's got a lot of agendas that he is trying to push.
Yeah, I barely make it through my own day.
And unfortunately, when your daughter comes to you and says this has to be done, look at these poor children, it is going to pull at your heartstrings. And by focusing on the chocolate cake and by not remembering which country it was, is only proof that Trump has too much going on in his mind, that he may not have given the correct amount of thought to what was happening, and he was just listening
So I would
to
like
the
for
people
him to
around
see
him.
the people in Syria celebrating after Aleppo was actually freed from the militants, from the rebels, how they acted.
Coming for the war-ravaged Syrian city of Aleppo. Churches reduced to rubble are preparing to hold their first Christmas ceremonies in more than 4 years.
What I love about
The Syrian
this
army
is that they're celebrating for Christmas in Syria, which is, dude, they're Christians. A lot of them are Christians.
They finally liberate the city from
They played
militants.
jingle bells, Michelle, on the streets. Jingle bells.
It's crazy. What had been happening in Aleppo was so atrocious, and so many lives were lost, and so many people suffered. They starved, they lost their homes, they lost their businesses, they lost everything.
Turkey was doing it on purpose. Turkey is there menacing Europe. I'm going to send in these refugees that they helped create. It is them. Turkey
Syrian
is
Christians this year. Christmas is a special holiday as their dreams of peace and a normal life now have a chance of becoming reality. RT's Lizzie Phelan found out how Aleppo locals are preparing to celebrate the holiday.
This was just
amid the
this past
devastation.
Christmas.
These seasonal festivities were the first Aleppo has seen like this since the war began. Fearful of anti-government insurgents known for being hostile to minority faiths, Christians in Syria have largely rallied behind the country's secular government during the war, seeing it as their protector. Aleppo is one of their heartlands. For them, the city coming under the full control of the Syrian army is cause for celebration this Christmas.
We did not expect this moment to ever actually come. We've had 4 years of pain, of war and blood. We couldn't even imagine that we would once again see all this joy and celebration.
The season of plenty depicted in Hollywood movies and on TV commercials is far from the reality for many people around the world marking Christmas. For Christians here in Aleppo, it's a time where the loss that they have suffered and the extremely high price that they have paid for almost 5 years of war is felt more acutely than perhaps at any other time of year. In this church, as well as coming for Mass, many have come to receive aid to feed their families this Christmas.
We're distributing purchase vouchers, each worth nearly $60 to each family before the holidays. Over 5,000 families will receive this help, regardless of beliefs or religion or anything else.
Christian charity can put food on some tables for a day in Aleppo, but can't make up for the absence of loved ones at those tables. This is Reem's second Christmas without her older sister, Noor. At 25 years old, as an already accomplished basketball player and coach, her life was cut short by a sniper bullet to the heart on the way home from a game.
Life without her is very hard, but I think about her every minute, and I feel like she's with us.
Many of these children have lost their fathers to the war, along with their homes. They live now in this orphanage, run by an Armenian Orthodox church. Levon's Christmas wish will be easy to fulfill now that Aleppo's once magnificent old city is no longer a battlefield.
So I wanted to play you another video where they were celebrating after the fall of Aleppo. Well, the militants had to leave, but you recognize the people that CNN put on were supporting the militants.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the people...
The Christians are in support of the secular government in Syria.
Yeah, and most of the Muslims who support in the Syrian army, they're not radical Islamic. They're not.
The United Nations says all military actions in eastern Aleppo have stopped, and the Syrian government is now in full control of the city.
So this is what the Russian government has to say, but I want you to see what the people have to say.
Have also confirmed the news. Retaking Aleppo is seen as the biggest blow to foreign backed militants in more than 5 years of conflict.
All of downtown Aleppo tonight was filled with people celebrating. It's a huge development, the most significant victory by pro-government forces for the duration of this conflict that's now lasted almost 6 years. But despite the happy faces around me, people chanting in support of the president and the army, of course it's been an extremely painful journey getting here. Tens of thousands of people have lost their lives. Most of the people living in Aleppo have been displaced. It's estimated that around 50% of the population have been forced to leave the city, and of course much of the city has been destroyed. Now, I've spent months in Aleppo in the last year, and I haven't really met anybody here that hasn't been affected by the war. Many parents have lost their children. Many children have been left orphaned by this conflict.
My dad died 5 years ago. Did you see them kill your parents and your family? They're all dead. They were all killed.
But something struck me today. We left Sheikh Said early this morning, just hours after it was retaken by pro-government forces. And there we met a man, a soldier, who wasn't involved in the battle to take Sheikh Said, but he was there returning to his home. It was almost as though he was waiting for the second that he could safely return to his home, even though that he knew that it had been destroyed. And that's really the sense that I get from many people here, that once they've done with their celebrations, that they are eagerly waiting to rebuild their homes, their families, and of course their city.
So guys, listen, we have to listen to the people that are there. We are in America and we don't know. And we do know that the mainstream media feeds us a load of crock every single day. Right. So you can't listen to CNN, you can't listen to MSNBC, you can't listen to these people that are feeding you a narrative. You have to go straight to the people on the ground. The Aleppo people were rejoicing when the rebels were pushed out of the city, and they were rejoicing and praising President Assad and the Syrian fighters.
Right.
There's nothing else you need to know.
Right. So here's the video with Sean Spicer saying...
goal for both of them, the goal for the United States, is twofold. As I've stated, it's one, to make sure that we destabilize Syria, destabilize the conflict there.
Oops.
Goal for both of them, the goal for the United States, is twofold. As I've stated, it's one, to make sure that we destabilize Syria, destabilize the conflict there.
That's what I meant.
That even destabilize the conflict doesn't make sense.
I know.
So he meant what he said. I mean, really, seriously, that was really bad. So this is a picture that was shared. I've been following this girl. Her name is Partisan Girl on Twitter. She's a Syrian.
She's also on YouTube. I think her name is Syrian Girl.
Right. So this is Assad taking pictures with Christians on Easter. And it really makes the neocons upset because doesn't fit their narrative, right? It doesn't fit their narrative to have this horrible dictator hanging out with Christians, right? Doesn't fit it. Again, I will say it 500 times. Assad and the army, I'm sure, have done bad things. Okay? It's a war. But I will tell you this. The blood on their hands is less than the blood on our hands. Exactly. Because Mosul right now is being bombed and taken over by, it's been freed by coalition forces, but the deaths that have happened are...
And the children, we just saw footage there of children that are suffering at the hands of what our government has done.
So a Swedish doctor this is one of the main videos that people show where they fake things. This is a baby who they're supposed to be putting a needle into the baby's heart and putting adrenaline in it to make it alive again, but it's not actually dead yet. And doctors who have seen this video have said that this is fake. You're doing more harm than good.
Does it go any bigger or no?
No, it doesn't go any good. I don't think it's getting any bigger.
Oh, your head might go away.
So he pokes around in this baby's chest, and I'll put up links. You guys can watch it. It's very disturbing. Leif Elder, a well-known Swedish MD specialist in pediatrics, says on March 12th, he says... the needle should be inserted to the left of the angle and aspirating while advancing the needle into the vernacular chamber is entered where the active drug adrenaline is injected. Another doctor gave this statement after seeing the video. It is clearly observed that the medic seen performing the injection in front of the camera never injected anything. You can see that it still has stuff in the syringe. The Syrian gas attack draws UN Security Council to tears. And then there are the white helmet videos, sorry, every time I stop it that comes up, containing the non-medical life-saving and even counterproductive procedures in terms of life-saving purposes for children were then uncritically retransmitted by CNN April 20th, 2015. You'll hear that the CNN especially mentions the campaign that they have going here. So in talking about the U.S.-led airstrike in western Mosul, yeah, I wanted to play this video here because it really ties into all of this. And I'm sorry I can't make it any bigger.
Partners, and he's joining us live now by Skype. Phoenix, Mr. Harris, thanks for joining us. How do you feel about the fact that we've had more civilian deaths now as a result of U.S.-led coalition airstrikes?
Well, first, let me give my condolences to the family and loved ones of those who lost people in these horrible airstrikes. It appears this is the second major event that the U.S. has had where there's been heavy civilian casualties in trying to fight ISIS, and it's a sad thing. If we hold other countries to the same standard, like the U.S. just did with Syria, perhaps the U.S. should bomb its own air bases. In order to stop this type of behavior, because death of civilians is not what the target is, never has been. I'm just very confused that the U.S., who claims to have the best targeting, the best surveillance, satellite systems, all of this, why they keep missing the terrorists and keep hitting civilians. It's very peculiar to me.
And so then I'm going to ask you to answer your own question. Why do you think that is? Because, as you've said, the United States claims to have the best intelligence in the world. Why can't it pinpoint and target just terrorists?
I believe that there is another agenda going on within the U.S. military, within the U.S. Department of State. I believe there's a fifth column operating within the U.S. that is doing things that are counter to the stated U.S. objectives and counter to the constitutionality that the U.S. is built upon. It's obvious to me and many others that there is indeed someone operating out there with another agenda that is different than what the stated agenda is of eliminating the terrorist threats.
Okay, so then Mr. Harris, as a final point, then what do you think that agenda is?
Is to keep ISIS alive and well, keep them thriving and prosperous so that they have a permanent enemy to fight, so that they can destabilize and topple all the secular governments within the Middle East, all for the benefit of a few of the U.S. allies, namely Israel, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so I wanted to show you this couple clips here where Obama, to back up that thing where there was a deep state, they wanted to keep ISIS,
is what he was saying.
They want to keep ISIS going. It's not a big deal to them, right?
Attacks in San Bernardino. President Obama told CBS that Americans should, quote, stop overinflating the importance of terrorism.
ISIL is not going to pose an existential threat to us. They are a dangerous organization like Al-Qaeda was, but we have hardened our defenses. Our homeland has never been more protected by more effective intelligence and law enforcement professionals at every level than they are now. The coordination is much better than it is now.
The president not commenting on the fact the Islamic State used social media to cheer the San Bernardino.
Okay, I don't really have, you can see that yourself. I mean, I didn't even comment on that.
My intelligence radar screen.
I think you have to comment that he is friends with, you know, he's a Muslim.
He is, yes, exactly. And that's why he knew that the threat wasn't, at least while he was president, an imminent threat, because
he's a part of their
he
plan
can keep them out while he's in charge, because he's one of them.
The ability of ISIL to initiate major land offensives. That was not on my intelligence radar screen.
Not on his radar screen? Really? Even after being warned by his predecessor, President George W. Bush, about the consequences of pulling U.S. troops out of Iraq.
To begin withdrawing before our commanders tell us we are ready would be dangerous.
So we got this whole crazy thing going on, and we're funding ISIS, and we got to sign off for today. I want to bring you a couple clips where I can show you where they've staged some the white helmets have staged. Literally, they got films going.
Different false flags here and there.
They literally have a group of people, and I don't have this up right now.
They, you know, throw themselves on the ground as if they've been injured.
Yeah, and the BBC was in there during the 2013 one, and all of a sudden they come into the room, and all of a sudden they are walking around, all these boys are walking around like the living dead, and they all start moaning at the same time. Oh. I mean, it's really bad acting. I want to show you that, but we got to sign off for probably today.
Yeah.
So we love you guys. Thank you for watching.
This is Leah Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it's not just a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell for notifications if you want to see more videos like these. And find us on Facebook and Twitter, where we can interact with you guys there on a daily basis. We love you. God loves you. God bless. Any final thoughts?
Obama's lying.
Obama's lying.
Of course.
And we do have to go, but I'm going to do one more short video to make you laugh. Okay, come back.
Oh,
stop, okay. Stop, and go.
I was cold, all alone, no place for home, every day, so afraid, but you called my name.